We have talked about high costs related to highway infrastructure development, maintenance, operation, construction. Now, where are the money for this purpose come from? So let's look at the principal sources of revenue for highway expenditures. First is it comes from highway user taxes. These include fuel tax, registration tax and related fees, specific taxes on commercial vehicles. Vehicle users, every time they buy fuel for their vehicle, pays tax. And every vehicle user who will register their vehicle pays another tax. So in the case of private vehicles, we have to renew our registration every year. So for that, we pay something. And other fees that are related to the vehicle operation and maintenance. Now, there are some specific taxes on commercial vehicles. They also pay taxes, they also register, and for their operation, they also pay taxes. The next source is property taxes, ad valorem, or according to the value of the property taxes, and special assessment tax against real estate or property lying adjacent to highway improvement. If you have observed, properties that are near highways have higher value. So the more development of highways near the area, the higher the value of the property becomes. And every year, the owner also pays tax for the property. So these are assessed accordingly. Toll fees become an important source of revenue for most of our modern highways and expressways these days. So majorities of the investment, operation, and maintenance costs have been derived from the toll fees. For example, if you use SLEX, you're paying toll fees. And other expressways in the Philippines, the highway users pay certain amount. Now let's move on to the second part of this chapter, which is the highway finance. For the highway finance, these considers the methods of providing money for highway projects. In case of the Philippines and most of the countries in the world, either the government agency or any agency, for instance, the World Bank, other banks, and private companies, finance highway development projects. And these are the two ways of transportation financial schemes. The first one is the build, operate, transfer. And then the second is build, lease, and transfer. The scheme enables the private investors to participate in financing, construction, management, and operation of government-owned transport infrastructures and facilities for a certain period of time before it will be turned over to the government. Projects that were built using this scheme is, for example, the NLEX, the North Luzon Expressway, the South Luzon Expressway, and other expressways in the Philippines. Also the Skyway and other links are done through the Build, Operate, Transfer scheme. In the Philippines, the national roads are usually funded by the government through the management of the Department of Public Works and Highways. So this ends the overview of Chapter 2 on Highway Economics and Finance. So these are the references for this material. I would like to discuss with you this activity that you will be doing, which will be part 2 of the end of the chapter report or reflection that you're going to do. Please look at the detail of the activity guide for more information. Following will be the activities that you're going to do. First is you will determine who is responsible for the planning, design, construction, and maintenance of different classes of in your locality or anywhere in the Philippines. So this will cover national roads, municipal, local streets, and barangay roads. And the second task is for you to determine also how much money is expended in a typical year for highway development. So you can look for a case study from the website, so no need to go anywhere else, and just identify the project and the sources of funds. You can see or look at projects that are funded by the World Bank and other private companies. And then lastly, identify some short and long-range highway improvement program in your area or anywhere in the Philippines, and discuss briefly the main points of the program. If you have any questions on this exercise, you may post your question through the communication channels that were indicated in your course guide. So I hope you are well, and thank you for listening. Have a good day.